You can't beat it, but you put some rainbow bread around some of that bologna. If you're like me, with a little dab of mayonnaise on there, and say, call the house doctor because the Luper's out of it. But that all happens on our very special times before the radio show. We can't eat during the show, but if we did, I bet we would have rainbow bread. Burger
Not
Brothers
have me a
specials.
sandwich right now.
Be some great times. Exciting things happen in Oklahoma. Young people, there's a threat in our community. That threat in our community is ourselves. Old people, there's a threat in this community. That threat is ourselves. Together, we can work out the problems that exist in our community. Think about it. There's something positive that you can do to help make our city, our state, a better place. Now, there are many different ways to do positive things. You may want to just pick up a few cans, as they're saying, don't lay that trash on Oklahoma. Well, don't lay that trash on Oklahoma City. There's some things you could do by doing something kind for someone that you love or someone that you respect. And there's something you could do by just saying thank you to some people who spend a lot of time trying to help make this place a better place. And I'm going to do that now because there's a young lady here who's doing something to help make our city a better place. That's none other than Miss Maddie Dillard. Maddie Dillard, welcome to the Clara Luper Radio Show.
Good evening to everyone out there in Radio Land. This is Coordinator Maddie Dillard.
Wait, what now?
Coordinator Maddie Dillard.
Coordinator Maddie Dillard. That's my partner, Coordinator Maddie Dillard. Maddie, you got something exciting coming up on April the 2nd on a Saturday, mind you. That's the same day of the Clara Luper Radio Show. But you have something coming up Saturday, April the 2nd. What is it?
Pre-Easter Fashion Show and Talent Show. Saturday, April the 2nd, 1988, 7:30 p.m., Central Plaza, Martin Luther King Boulevard, and Reno. Come see how you can look like $1 million and do not have to pay that price.
Oh, come on now. What do you mean? Come see how you can look like $1 million.
I'm not going to tell you. Come and see.
Without having to pay that price.
Oh, you can see. Coordinator Maddie Dillard is going to put it on.
Coordinator Maddie Dillard is going to put it on. And that's happening April the 2nd at the Century Plaza there at Martin Luther King Boulevard and Reno Avenue here in Oklahoma City. What kind of door prizes are you going to have?
Well, I'm going to have door prize from Dee's Salon. Or just anybody give me any, but I got a few dinners I'm going to give away and have some from the wig shop. Of course, I have the wig. I'm going to wear the old rim they donated to me.
All right, all right. Well, this sounds like it's going to be a great time. Now, Matt, if we're interested in purchasing a ticket or making a donation, how do we go about getting in contact with whoever, with you, I'm certain, and with any other participants?
You can get in contact with Coordinator Maddie Dillard at 427-0434, 427-3244, and the donation is $3. And if you can't get a hold to me, just come on down to Central Plaza. It's the same price at the door, but you will not be eligible for the door prize.
All right, so your pre-sale ticket, that ticket that we call 427-0434 or 427-3244, call that ticket, and we'll be eligible for the door prizes that will be exciting. And there are great things that will be happening there April the 2nd. You know, Maddie, you have so many good things going on, and I know you're a very busy young lady that's doing a lot to help make this city a better place. There's something else that you have going. Would you care to share that with us?
Don't forget Friendship Musical tomorrow, March the 20th at 3 p.m. Friendship have outgrown the church, so they are having their musical at Friendship Pentecostal Church of God, 2501 Southwest 59th. Reverend Michael Bubb, Pastor Herman Richmond, Minister of Music.
All right. And Herman Richmond can make that organ do different things. That's
I don't know anyone
musician.
can beat Herman Richmond.
Yeah.
Of course, we have Alina down to Greater Mount Olive.
Well, I want to thank...
But that's a lady. I say the ladies is always the best.
Well, it leaves room for argument, but we're not going to argue it because it doesn't matter who's the best. It just matters who's doing the best. And be it female or male, we hope that whatever you're doing, that you're doing something like LaWanda Brown, who's over the musical, or like the Reverend Michael Bubb is doing, or like that minister of music.
LaWanda Brown is not over the music. She just decided to have these flyers printed up and pass them out to help the music. She is my next door neighbor.
Well, now, next door neighbor Matt has got to be all right,
they like
too.
to do like me.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. You know, if you're doing something positive, then your next door neighbor will do something positive.
But make sure it's
and if
good.
everybody's neighbor is doing something positive, then we can't help but have a great place. You know,
That's
so
right.
Friendship Baptist Church will be having their annual musical at the Hillcrest Pentecostal Church of God, 2501 Southwest 59th, March the 20th at 3 o'clock p.m. I look forward to that because Herman is great. Man, it's just bubbling over here.
Well, I'm
He's
not
just
a
so
member of
excited about
Friendship.
that.
Don't forget tomorrow, if you don't have a church home, worship at the Greater Mount Olive Baptist Church on 27th and Kelly, where Reverend Woodbury is pastor, the best in town, and Reverend Neil, the pastor emerged.
All right. We like to say something about all the ministers because they will be at that church. And if you don't have a church
I say
home,
one of the best now.
you're right. That's what I'm getting ready to say because, I have my special church home. And I got
you belong to St. John, don't you? No, you're a member of 5th Street.
Wait a minute. Who's doing this show?
I don't
Let's
know.
get this straight here now.
Let's forget about who's the member of
Who's
what.
doing
Okay.
what on first. But I bet you this, that if I do go to a musical tomorrow at 3, it will be to hear Reverend Richmond. And I look forward to April the 2nd and seeing this great pre-Easter fashion and talent show. And I'll take up that invitation on
Did you
coming
announce the Soul Bazaar?
Well, now, I ask you, would you announce it for me? You tell me what's happening on April the 29th and April the 30th.
The Soul Bazaar, 88, the Martin Luther King assassination. Now, I've seen all of you out there on his birthday. You took off your job, so think about the assassination. It's more important to her. That's when he lost his life.
All right. Thank you, Miss Maddie Dillard. She helped a little bit. She did remind you of the Soul Bazaar. Now, I think every day of our lives, those of us that are active in the Soul Bazaar, the NACP, our churches, that we should pay attention to the life, the teachings, and the livings of a young man like Martin Luther King. It's a compliment to be put in the same category as a young man as Martin Luther King because he was trying to do something not for one particular part of the community, but for the entire community. You can do that too. You can do that in your very own special way. One good way to do it is to make sure that you are a registered voter and that you will have an opportunity to be a part of the democratic process, that part of being able to cast your vote for the candidates of your choice. Exciting things happen, especially when you vote. You'll have an opportunity coming up to vote for candidates for the Oklahoma City Public School Board. Now, I'm going to suggest to you that you vote. Who you vote for, I don't care, and I won't know until the final results come out. But you better take a good close look at the candidate that promises, the candidate that has the best record, and the candidate that will do the very best for this community and for our city. Being a part of the school board is a very difficult position because you're dealing with the lives and the futures of thousands of young kids every year. And nothing could be better than someone who's sensitive, someone who's I know is great, and someone that I would like to personally endorse right now, but I think I'll wait till a little closer. But if you want to endorse your candidate for the school board, and even if it's not my candidate, because my candidate, I know with those outstanding credentials, with those years of dedication and that years of great teachings that she can do, I know that she's concerned about all of us. And my candidate, and I want to hear your candidate, but my candidate is Thelma R. Parks. That's who I'm voting for the Oklahoma City Public School Board. Who are you voting for? Why don't you call, share with us who you think should be our next representative on the Oklahoma City Public School Board. You can call us here at 478-2103.
And able to see how well to mark your ballot. And you may need some eyeglasses, Calvin. So I'm going to suggest that they go over and see Dr. A.L. Dow at 934 Northeast 8th Street. The telephone number is 521-9316. Now, be sure you check your eyes out because I do not want you to mark your ballot incorrectly when you go to the polls. I want you to be able to see clearly. And I'm putting Dr. Glau's glasses on because it's something here that I want to read, and I want to be sure I'm reading it clearly. So that is Dr. A.L. Dow, 934 Northeast 8th Street, 521-9316. So if you need glasses, go by and see Dr. Dow.
Great things happen. So why don't you give us a comment, your comment if you have one. You can call us 478-2103. We'll leave the lines open for a couple more minutes, and it doesn't look like we're going to hear from our good friend Mike Fulson or from Jesse Orange, but we're going to tell you about an additional service that you can use, and I'll tell you a lot more about that in a few minutes, but then that's after we kind of close the lines. We want to remind you that today's program is being dedicated to the Humphreys family. We all lost a good friend. They lost a leader of their family. But we want you to know that we here at the Clara Luper Radio Show appreciate the times and the efforts that you sacrificed so that we, all of us, could be and live in a better community. So sit back, relax, call that neighbor, call that friend, invite them to be a part of today's show. So sit back and relax with this special tribute, again, to the... Yes, indeed, a very favorite group of mine. That song says a lot. It means a lot. I'm going to tell God all about it. So it's good to know that we have friends up there. It's good to know good people that have gone on to heaven. And it's good to be able to see the results of their great labors while they've shared their time with us here on earth. As I said before, exciting things happen. We've invited you today to be a part of the show. We've invited you to call in. Primarily, we were concerned about how you were going to vote on the Oklahoma City Public School Board election that is coming up. That exact date, Ms. Hunter will tell you about it, but then I know it's coming up. But I told you who I wanted. Some of you out there, I hope, most of you out there I know should agree with me because of the fact that on April the 12th, we will have an opportunity to vote for the person who will be there on the school board representing all of us. But exciting things happened this morning at 10 a.m. at some kind of meetings that if you were a Democrat, you had an opportunity to go there and to be a part of the democratic process. Ms. Hunter.
Yes, Calvin, within the Cosmo today, many churches, many schools were open for the Democratic Plan precinct meeting. And I'm sure each of you got out to your precinct meeting because you are interested in what is happening in politics and who is going to be your representative and how they are going to represent you. And you do want to be a part of that. So I hope you did not miss your meeting today because there were many precinct meetings and in different schools within our city. So if you did not go, you missed a treat because I was there and for my precinct, and we were all there, and we were really getting about business and getting business worked out.
Well, Ms. Hunter, who are you voting for the Oklahoma City Public School System?
Now, Calvin, not only who am I voting for, I am supporting.
Next.
And in other words, I'm pushing Mrs. Parks. I asked Mrs. Parks to run because I know Mrs. Parks, and I work with Mrs. Parks. And I like her philosophy of life, and I like the way she liked to work with children, and I like the way that she liked to give decisions in decision-making situations. So this is why I am working for Mrs. Parks. In other words, I'm kind of her campaign manager. Because I am pushing Mrs. Parks because I feel that she will make the difference on the school board. And I feel that she will be fair and she will give justice to where justice is due. And because of her experience and her competencies and her reliability and her concern about other people.
Ms. Hunter, we didn't ask for no editorial.
Thank you so very much, Calvin.
We have an editorial, but we have someone on the line here.
Okay, who do we have there, Calvin?
I'm interested in knowing who are you going to vote for in this Oklahoma City Public Schools School Board?
I'm Kate Bell, and I'm going to vote for Mrs. Parks. She was my English teacher, and she was an excellent teacher and was responsible for getting me a scholarship to Howard University.
All right, Kay Bell. Kay Bell also is going to vote for Mrs. Thelma Hara Parks for the Oklahoma City Public School Board. Well, thank you, Kay, for listening to the Clara Luper Radio Show, and more importantly than that, thank you for sharing with the public on how you're going to vote April the 12th. So I don't have to ask you if you're registered because evidently you are. Do you know anybody that's not registered?
Thank you so very much for your call. We still have a few minutes if you want to call in. Calvin is standing by to take your calls. And while we're waiting for that, I want to remind you of the Miss Black Oklahoma State Pageant, which will be June the 12th through the 18th. Now, this is getting to be a big affair, and we're going to have a wonderful time, and we're having beautiful girls and talented girls that will be coming from June the 12th to the 18th. And by the way, on June the 12th, if you want to see all the pretty girls, you come to my church. My church is the First AME church. Calvin did not know that, so I got that one in. Then on May the 7th, I'm backing up to May the 7th. I'd like for you to put that date on your calendar. We will be having a Miss Black Oklahoma City pageant. So it will be at Park International Inn. That is off of 29th and I-35. Miss Black Oklahoma City pageant is May the 7th in 1988, and that will be at Park Interstate International Inn. And that's off I-35 and 29th Street. So we'll be looking forward to you coming to the pageant on that night.
Exciting things promise to happen. There's our young lady Maddie's pre-Easter and talent show that will be happening. More importantly, not more importantly, but just as importantly, the Soul Bazaar coming up April the 29th and the 30th at the McFarland YWCA. Miss Maddie Dillard's pre-Easter fashion show will be Saturday, April the 2nd at the Century Plaza, Martin Luther King in Reno. Miss Black Oklahoma City coming up May 7th, 1988. Miss Black Oklahoma State Pageant coming up June the 12th, June the 18th. Exciting times happening in Oklahoma City if you're doing something positive. So, you know, as we wind down, it's very difficult at times to get out of the radio studio because of the fact that we have such a good time sharing with those of you who don't mind being on the air and those of you who do mind being on the air. But what we want to be able to present to you is an open-minded, two-sided, even three-sided conversation, a conversation that you feel like that you're a part of. What we want you to do during the rest of the week is to remind everybody that you see first to be a part of next week's show, but more importantly than that, to do something positive for this community or for the community that you live in. You can do it. All you have to do is think about the great things that need to be done, the big obstacles, the big mountains that are in the way. So if you can spend your times, your dollars, and your efforts on fighting something that in the long run may not be worth the effort when the truth eventually will win out, then do that. But if you really want to do something that's going to be an asset to our entire community, then do that. And together we can help make Oklahoma City a better place. We can even do like some of the people there at Eunice's cleaning place. You know, she's helping in a way to help make this city a cleaner and a better place. And you can get in contact with her by calling 521-0256 if you need some help in your cleaning up your areas, your houses, your lots, or anything. Call Eunice at 521-0256. If you really need some great insurance, call Merle and Hildred with Allstate Insurance Company. If you need your clothes cleaned and want to make sure that they're best, check with Sherry's Cleaners there at 4905 North Martin Luther King. You can call them, too, at 424-8020. In other words, what I'm saying is that if you have a need, if you want to make sure that that need is serviced, then listen to the Clara Luper Radio Show and contact our advertisers, because Dr. A.L. Dow makes sure that you have the very best in optometry care. The people at Berger Brothers, Miss Hunter, they make sure that you have the very best in grocery buying.
That's right. And if you want to see what's happening in industry, go to the Soul Bazaar, April the 29th at the McFarland Y, and see what's happening, see what's new, and see what technology is giving to us. That's at the Soul Bazaar.
You know, Allstate Insurance, Merlin's office, is at 9228 North May, Suite 2B. You can call out there for an appointment, or you can just drop in. That's 9228 North May. But you can call at 848-7470. Say, we've had a great time today, and Miss Hunter, it's been a pleasure. And, you know, we haven't had one good argument. Let's disagree on something.
Well, I'm going to disagree that you let me say goodbye first.
Oh, you're going to, well, not, okay, well, we better hurry. So you better go ahead and say your goodbye now, because my goodbye will be a lengthy one, because I want to say a goodbye to my very good friends, Attorney Porter, Reverend Parker, two young men that I can see the results of their work in the community. Keep up the good work, do what you think is right, and we'll be behind you all the way.
Thank you so very much, and this is Clara Luper always say, remember, we love you. Bye now.
We love you.